It won't be long now until the school buses are back on the highways. Here with some important advice for keeping everyone safe when it's back to school time is Sylvia Chabala. She is an intern with PennDot. She's joining us back again before she heads back to school as well. Sylvia, thanks for being here. This is an important time of the year. People need to pay attention. I mean, they need to pay attention all the time, but especially when the kids are going back to school, kids of all ages.
Yeah, so what we're focusing on, August is our back to school safety month at PennDot, so we're focusing on all different aspects of that for elementary kids, high school kids, college kids, and even parents and pedestrians.
So what advice do you have for us?
So for elementary kids, one of the big issues we're pushing is passing the bus, whether people are in a rush to get where they're going or they just aren't aware that that's illegal. It's a big issue. You're putting kids at risk, and so we're just trying to make people aware that, slow down, and also keep in mind the rules and the penalties for passing a bus. So if you see a bus stopped with its stop arm out and red lights flashing, you have to stay at least 10 feet away from that bus. And some of the penalties for passing a bus are a $250 fine and points off of your driving record.
As it should be, because that's very serious. You have young children entering and exiting a bus and crossing the street, so this is highly dangerous.
Definitely. And, bus drivers obviously try to be aware of that and try to focus on the kids' safety, but it's really something parents and kids need to be aware of too. And just whether you're an elementary kid or a high school kid getting on and off the bus and anything near the road, you need to be really cautious.
All right, so that's for the school buses, but there's also students of different schools going back as colleges. And if you live in a college town or in an area where there are a lot of college students, you have to be careful for them as well.
Yeah, so again, even if you're not a student going back, we're trying to make pedestrians aware of the dangers that come with that. Even when you're in college, you can be a young and inexperienced driver. So if you live near a college, when you're walking your kids to school, walking your dog, you need to be aware that there are inexperienced drivers on the road. And especially as the semester starts back up, it's going to be a lot busier where you live.
And we see a lot of the kids too maybe walking to college or on their bicycles going to college.
Absolutely. Biking is huge in college. They ride their bikes around campus, even to stores around their campus. So it's always important to keep in mind the 4-foot rule. So if you're in a car, you can pass a bicycle, but you need to keep a 4-foot cushion between you and that bike.
So what other advice do you have for our viewers out there to help keep everyone safe for back to school?
So for high school and college drivers, we just want to remind people to drive smart. Don't be distracted. That's a big thing we're focusing on. You always hear about no texting while driving, no drinking while driving. Well, one thing we want to focus on is don't overpack your car with friends. That can be a huge distraction. Obviously, you want to go out and have fun, pack your gear with fun, but don't pack it with too many friends. First of all, there's not enough seat belts, so there's the danger in that. And also, it's a distraction. One thing we talk about is keep your hands on the wheel, your eyes on the road, and your mind on the task at hand. So don't be reaching for your cell phone. If you have friends in the car, have them answer that text, because it's really not worth the risk. And really focus on driving. Don't get too caught up in a conversation with your friends or goofing off with anyone. Just stay focused on the road.
Excellent advice. If people want to learn more, where do they go?
JustDrivePA.com.
All righty. Great advice for Sylvia. You're heading back to school yourself, so it was a pleasure having you to come here as a PennDot intern to give us all. Did you learn a lot?
I did. It was a lot of fun, too.
All right, so you're heading back to school, so we ask you, stay safe as well.
Absolutely, and thanks so much for having me.
Thanks for being here today to give us some great advice for everyone. The kids are going to be heading back to school, kids of all ages, so please pay attention and be careful.